Hello everyone, today I'm here doing a new speed build. This one is a mid-century modern home that I got the idea for when I was doing my latest 6x6 challenge. I talked about my favorite Sims 3 world being the one from the store, Lucky Palms, where a lot of the homes in Lucky Palms were inspired by the mid-century modern era. And mid-century modern, when I think of it, it's it's kind of retro style, and I think of it as like maybe the 60s and 70s type era. Um, Obviously, though, they didn't have some of the technology that we have nowadays, and so the home is modern in the sense that it has like flat screen TV, and I think I put a tablet in here. But I really didn't go overboard with all the technology because it is a small home. It only has 2 bedrooms and a single bathroom, but it does have a pretty spacious living room and a nice sized kitchen and dining room, as well as a decent backyard that your Sims could expand the house to if they wanted to in the future. So I looked around online and I found some really nice looking mid-century modern homes, but this one really stuck out to me. I liked the level of the ground, and I was like, I haven't done a house that's sort of split level like this using the foundation tool as actually part of the yard. So I figured that I would do something a little different because you never want to do the same old too much, because then it kind of gets repetitive and boring. So it's nice to switch it up and do things a little outside of your comfort zone. And I was trying to find a bush that would fit there, and it was giving me problems, but I tried to cover up the foundation just a little bit to make it look more like it was actually the ground and not the foundation for the house, except for here in the back I sort of made it look almost like it could have had a walkout basement type of deal, but added some more greenery because even though this house is in the desert, I wanted it to look sort of lush and inviting from the street. So here I had an issue with the half walls, and I was trying to get the border to match, and I couldn't figure out why I was pushing the wrong button. So I go back and fix that. I'm not sure if I did that on camera or not, but I do fix that because it bothered me. And at first I thought maybe it was just the lighting, but then later on I realized I had been hitting the wrong key. So anyway, we're still getting the outside done. I like to try to get that done, and thought that it would look nice to have a fence around the yard, but I couldn't find one that really suited it. I didn't want a tall fence because I felt like it would obstruct the view of the yard and the landscaping up on the hill, so I just put a few more plants out here and a nice little tree, and then I think we get to move on to the backyard, where I did a little bit of landscaping, but there is actually still quite a bit of open yard that you could utilize to expand the home or expand the patio if you wanted to put in a pool or something like that. I actually like building homes for people to give it their own flair, and if anybody does like make over the house or something like that, I would love to see pictures. You could just post a link to your slideshow or whatever in the comments below, and I would love to check that out sometime. But here we go, and I did just like a little barbecue area and a picnic area for your family to hang out, but there is definitely enough room for a pool and a hot tub. I just didn't want to go too overboard and make the house crazy expensive, because as it is completely furnished, this little 2-bedroom 1-bath home is about 66,000 simoleons. So it's not a starter home, but you could probably edit it to be one. but I see it more as an established small family home. But again, it's all up to the interpretation of people who download it, which is one of the great and wonderful things about The Sims. So I just decided to landscape this little corner of the yard because I didn't want to take up too much more space, but I like how the desert and the green kind of come together, and they look really good together. So soon we get to go inside the home and start furnishing, which is always my favorite part. I Googled quite a few images because I wanted to make sure that I was going to get the mid-century modern feel in the home without going too retro or too stereotypical. So I found some really good inspiration pictures, and I kind of wanted to stick with a green and orange theme for the most part inside the home, because I don't know what it is, but whenever I think of like the 60s and 70s, I think of a lot of like greens and oranges and sort of bold color choices when it comes to the decorations and furnishings. So, but I actually really like the way the living room came out. It's not my typical style, but I think that it looks really nice and it suits the era of the house for sure. And it goes really well with the desert outside too. So you've got your little TV area, and I put a little bookcase there. And then there was still a lot of room in the living room. I didn't realize just quite how big it really was. So I ended up adding like a little stereo system over there because, you know, back in my day when I was younger anyway, before we had all that technology, stereo systems were something that families liked to spend a lot of money on. And I remember my dad having a really nice stereo system that we would utilize whenever we were doing things around the house and just wanted to listen to some music. So I hit the wrong button there, so sorry about the jump in the camera, but I was trying to raise that car up and I hit instead of hitting the control key, I think I hit shift or something like that, or whatever it was, but luckily I got it straightened out and didn't do that anymore, because I'm sure that is just kind of rough on the eyes when people are watching it back, especially in sped up time frame. So it took me a minute here to decide what I wanted to do with the countertops. That countertop threw me off because it looked like it was sticking out farther than it needed to be, but I guess that's just because there wasn't a wall there. So once I put the wall in, it fixed itself. And even though this kitchen is not the color scheme that I would typically choose, I think it really fits the retro and mid-century modern, and I actually really like it. I mean, I don't know that I would want it to be my kitchen in real life, since that's not really my style, but it's not bad to look at, I don't think. And I was having a hard time picking a table. I feel like we need some more choices when it comes to dining room tables, because the inspiration picture I found for the dining room had this really pretty round, like modern style table, and I really liked it, but there was just nothing that I could find that was going to compare. So I went with the glass table, and I think it looks pretty good. So added a few finishing touches inside of the kitchen, which is always my favorite room to furnish. I don't know what it is about kitchens, but I just have a lot of fun with them. And now we're working on the master bedroom. This is the bigger of the two bedrooms, but it's still not massive. It does have a large walk-in closet, which takes up a little bit of room, so if you aren't really into the closets or you don't have get together, you could just delete that and add a little seating area or something fun like that for your Sims, or you could even expand or add another bathroom. That way you wouldn't have to share bathroom with the other bedroom of the house. But this is a really cute little room, and I thought the guitar went well because it's something that I could see a family in like the 60s and 70s having, which, like I said before, this house isn't really supposed to be from the 60s and 70s. It's just supposed to have decor that is inspired by that time frame, so that's where I got the idea for some of the decorations and things as well. And then here's like a little girl's room. I couldn't quite get it the way I wanted, but I still think it came out fairly cute in the end. And the little bunny out here. So we're getting ready to switch over to the bathroom here in just a second, which is really small, but I like the layout of it. It came out really nice and maybe a little more modern than mid-century, but either way, it came out nice, and I hope you all enjoyed watching. So stay tuned for the tour here in just a second, and I will speak with you all again soon. Bye for now.